Across Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, this is the week's Adventist news in focus.
Hello, thanks for joining us this week. I'm Sibel Kute. Nepal's second earthquake in a period of just a few weeks has left an already devastated nation further traumatised. Workers and volunteers from the hundreds of non-government organisations helping with the relief effort had a first-hand experience of the terror and destruction during the 7.3 magnitude quake. Australian Adventist charity Open Heart International visits Nepal every year providing free surgical services. But after these latest disasters, OHI is directing all donations for its Nepal projects to the Shir Memorial Hospital in Kathmandu, which is struggling to cope with the influx of earthquake-related injuries.
It really comes down to the fact that our heart's breaking for the people of Nepal. As an organisation, we've worked in Nepal for 20 years and with the Shir for over 10. And so we see this stuff happening, and it's just a small way that we can respond to what's happening. And our donors have already responded, which we're incredibly grateful for, and we're continuing to support.
The Adventist Review reports that a group of Russian filmmakers is praising God after getting permission to shoot at one of the most politically sensitive locations in the world. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest site in Islam and stands in Jerusalem's Old City next to the Dome of the Rock, where tradition claims Abraham was prevented from sacrificing his son. In applying to film, the producers from the Voice of Hope ministry in Russia emphasized that their purpose in filming was not to discuss politics, but was to explore the messages of ancient biblical prophets. To their surprise, they were allowed to film at the site, including the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Именно эта часть скалы, на которой Авраам должен был принести в жертву Исаака, и когда связал его, Бог сказал ему не делать этого, и вместо Исаака был принесен агнец.
Just a couple of months ahead of a decision on women's ordination by Adventist World Church delegates, regional leaders in Berlin have voted to begin ordaining women pastors in their jurisdiction as soon as possible. World church leaders have previously warned regional administrators against moving independently on women's ordination. But it has not stopped the Adventist Church in parts of Europe and North America from stepping outside of church policy. At the meetings in Berlin, attempts to delete or moderate the motion on women's ordination were voted down. And that's this week's Adventist news. If you'd like to keep up with the discussion on ordination, or even add your own 5 cents worth, there are articles from all kinds of perspectives at the Record website, record.net.au. You'll also find this Adventist news video there, as well as all the Record InFocus segments. This week, what should a Christian make of the federal budget?
The detail showed that we're basically walking out of Africa with our aid, having secured our UN Security Council seat by I guess, garnering African votes through aid. Now that that term on the UN Security Council is over, we're pulling our aid out.
Unlocking the mysteries of the much misunderstood eggplant.
Forms like a viscous gel, that's why they call it viscous dietary fibre. So when you cook eggplant, if you've noticed, if you've ever eaten eggplant, it becomes sort of gelatinous and creamy and luscious.
And we meet the biographer of Irene Gleason, who gave decades of her life to the children of Africa.
She just knew God's word, and she knew the power of God's word to change things. And people have said that she changed the spiritual landscape of northern Uganda.
Looks like a great episode. Hey, thanks so much for your company this week. I'll see you next time on InFocus Adventist News. God bless.